is up, my friends? Welcome to Jason Lanier Unfiltered, guys. I can't wait to share today with you guys. This is episode 12. This is a road trip. I hope you guys are ready to go on the road with me. Today we're going to be talking about what it's like to work with me on the road with models. I have a live interview with an absolutely incredible creative named Maria Milian. And it's just going to be just an awesome episode that we recorded on the road. So get ready, guys. Get strapped in and get ready to have some fun. All right, guys. I hope you guys are ready for a great episode. Thanks for being here, guys. This is Jason Lanier Unfiltered. You can catch all of our podcasts on jasonlanier.com/podcast. If you missed any of the episodes, you can go back up there and take a look. But today's going to be a fun one. I haven't done a podcast with a guest or a co-host or anybody since I relaunched about a month ago. And so it was really fun to do this. I haven't had a chance, and so I was able to pull out some of the old equipment and do the first, dual podcast, if you will, or interview, whatever you want to call it, with Maria. And if you guys don't know who Maria is, if you've watched my videos, she is, or looked on my Instagram, she is an amazing model, and she has done a number of shoots with me. I met her out in Miami, and all the way back in August. And she's the one that we did some shoots in Palm Beach, Florida. She's the red dress holding the dog. Lifestyle portraits. If you look up lifestyle portraits, how to do lifestyle portraits on YouTube, that's Maria. And you may recognize her. She's the Everglade girl. We put beer can rollers in her hair and did an incredible shoot out in the Everglades in the swamp. Put her in some alligator water. You'll hear about that later in the interview. But we had she and I just met, and we all, from the get-go, there was a creative chemistry there. And so the stars have realigned again, and she's big into that kind of stuff. You'll find out. But I was able to bring her out here to California, and we were able to do a road trip together, which was fantastic. So a little bit later on, it's going to be the meat of this podcast. You're going to hear directly from her, and she and I sit there and chat while we are waiting for the sun to set at the Salton Sea. So get ready for that, guys. I think you're really going to enjoy it, and it's going to really give you some insight as to what it's like to work with me. And that's something that I'm trying to share with people, because hopefully you're able to glean something of importance and something of value and benefit to yourself so you can apply it to your work. Because a lot of people ask me, how does it work with the models that you work with? How does it work with, traveling and flying? And do you plan your locations? All that kind of stuff. So in this interview, I'm going to set this up so you guys know what to expect and to listen for. We're really going to walk you through how I select outfits, which I think is very important. I know a lot of people, just let me say this, I think a lot of people are unaware of just how truly organic and spontaneous my shoots are. To kind of give you an idea, what the models do is they'll typically bring 4 or 5 outfit options. I always say I love accessories, jewelry, shoes, hats, belts, anything crazy you can bring. I love all that kind of stuff. And I say, just bring it and I'll put an outfit together. So typically the first night that we're working together, before we go out to shoot the following day. So just like for example, for this road trip that I did with Maria, the first night we got into, I picked her up in Arizona, and then we went out to Yuma, Arizona. No, San Diego, my bad. I picked her up in San Diego. She flew in, and then we drove out to Yuma, Arizona. And when we got there, I said, all right, show me what you got from an outfit perspective. And so she pulled out all of her outfits and started showing me, and she'd try them on, so on and so forth. And from there, I start piecing things together. And it's always different than what they think it's going to be, which is really fun. And so I don't have a ton of pre-work. And you'll hear in the interview, too, we talk about, she's like, do you know where we're going to shoot tomorrow? I was like, I have no idea. What do you mean? I said, well, I know there's some sand dunes out here. I know there's some old desolate roads. But at the end of the day, it's supposed to be organic. And you're also going to hear her talk about that in this interview, and that when we first met in Florida, what was very surprising to her was some of the places I would pull over, she'd be like, this is where we're going to shoot. Are you kidding me? And I'll never forget her reaction to some of it was like, Jason, you're really going to shoot here? This looks like a place where people dump bodies, or this looks like a place where people go to the bathroom. It doesn't look like a shoot location. But by the time we got done with some of these things, she was pretty surprised as to the results that we got. So really, really fun stuff, guys. Also fun in this interview, you're going to hear some feedback from her about how some of the models feel about the videos and the comments that we put, which I thought was really fun, because if you think back to that lifestyle video where she's holding the dog, she made a comment to me in the video that said, like I showed her a picture from behind the camera, and she's like, oh my gosh, that must be a great camera. And she actually got angry at me and said, I can't believe you left that in the video. Your fans were giving me the runaround for it. And I said, well, it's kind of an inside joke in the photography industry, but it was funny. I had to kind of worm my way out of leaving that in the video, which was funny. The interview is going to talk about getting buy-in from the models, which I think is really important. And something else I think that will really relate to all of you out there when you're listening to this is I talked at length with her, and she was surprised at how the road trip that she and I did together was with no crew, no makeup artist, no volunteers, nothing, just Maria and I. And some people see my videos and they see that I have a lot of help. Like when I've gone out to Florida, for example, where I first met Maria, when I first met Maria, there was Anthony there was John there was other people helping. And so you get the feeling like, okay, this dude has a crew, but then there's sometimes I have a whole crew and there's sometimes I have no crew. And to be honest, I'm comfortable with either options. And so you're going to hear us talk about that. You're going to hear her talk about some of the fears of a model to work in an environment where there is no crew, meaning, oh my gosh, I don't have an MUA. I don't have a hairstylist. How am I going to do this on my own? And something that I've always told the individuals that I've worked with, the creatives that I've worked with, is truly, if you're going to do anything sort of on a long-term perspective with me, you're going to have to figure out how to start doing your own makeup. Because I'm not taking an MUA everywhere. I'm not paying an MUA to go everywhere. I'm not going to do that. It's not feasible. And honestly, MUAs and hairstylists, and I love it. I love, and I've worked with a lot of great ones, but they typically, for my personal way that I shoot, they take way too long. And to be honest, I can usually add in Photoshop some of the stuff that they would do to a great extent, blush and eyeshadow and more lipstick and the touch-ups. And I'll also be honest with you guys, when I'm shooting and a makeup artist comes in, it keeps interrupting the shoot, and I know that they're only doing their job, but I'm like, you're messing up the flow and the creativity and everything else. So you're going to hear us talk about that, which I think is really important. Maria mentions finding a creative chemistry. So when you guys are listening to the interview, I want you to think about that. When you find people in your line of work, whether you're a model or you're a photographer, have you found somebody who's a creative link with you? Do you have a creative match, a creative chemistry with anyone out there that helps you create in a way that seems so natural and awesome? And I want you to think about that, because when you find somebody like that, it's honestly pretty special, and it makes the whole creative process even that much more rewarding. We talk about how it's important for photographers to give models some direction. It's really something that you hear a lot of models feedback, and they say sometimes when they work with other photographers that the photographer just kind of says, well, just do your own thing. Just do your own thing out there, and I'll just take pictures. And I always tell them, well, that's something that typically newer or less experienced photographers do, but experienced photographers really shouldn't do that. They should be directing the shoot. They should be directing the posing. They should be directing the creative choices, as in outfits, hair, lighting, posing, location. Really, guys, you have to think of yourself as more than a photographer and think of yourself as more of a creative director. that will get you much better results. She has some funny things she talks about where shooting with me is kind of doing yoga while shooting, which I think many of the people that have worked with me would definitely agree to that. And how to not get burned out by keeping it fresh. And I think that's kind of what I do. I don't always go to the same locations, and if I do go to the same location, I'll find something different to do there. And I think that's really important. We talk about we leave the interview off with talking about, she teases me because, something that's really funny, guys, is as much as all of us love the camera gear and the lenses and the lights and blah, 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 she and I were doing a selfie together, and I was telling her, honey, you can't do it like that. And she's like, what? She goes, do you know how hard it is? Do you know how hard it is to do a selfie with a photographer? So we got a kick out of that. You guys can also see some of this, by the way, some of this, pictures and stuff on Instagram and stuff, because we've posted some of the stuff as we shot this last week. So make sure to take a look for that, guys. It's worth a look, and it's a lot of fun. So we're going to take a quick break, and then I'm going to introduce you guys to Maria. And I appreciate you guys holding on through the break, because this is a great interview, and there's no commercials during the interview, so you're really going to enjoy it. So take a listen and enjoy. She's going to make you smile. She's the kind of person that makes you smile when you listen to her, so enjoy. We'll be right back after this message. All right, guys. Hi, this is the guest part of the podcast that we're doing. This is, I am sitting here with, who are you?
Who? Maria Milian.
Maria Milian. Doesn't that sound famous? Where are we, Miss Maria?
We're at the Salton Sea.
And what are we doing?
We are waiting for the sun to fix its attitude and not be so, so that we could take
obnoxious
some pictures. Yeah, it's kind of in the way.
It is in the way. And so, no, yeah, she's absolutely right. We're sitting here in front of the only other thing is nothing sign. Pretty symbolic sign here at the Salton Sea. And I have the Titan X1 sitting out there with my backpack, with my camera, with the transmitter sitting on top of it. So we're parked here so, no sea creatures come out and take it. But we're going to be doing a shoot. Describe what you're wearing, Miss Maria. I can't wait to hear you describe this.
Well, it's interesting, actually. It's like some kind of contraption shoulder thing that has feathers on it, and like some kind of bodysuit that's shimmery. How would you describe the color of this bodysuit? Because I can't describe, like. I'd
say it's like disco sexy.
Okay. Yeah, I'll take that. So that
I don't think that's a color, but if Crayola made like more adult themed colors, they would call it disco sexy.
So along with that, some thigh-high boots that I used to wear to my former job as a bottle server.
Yep.
And just I don't know. You put this together, so it's.
Yeah,
I take no responsibility for this outfit.
And that's exactly why I think it's amazing. It looks awesome. So just so you guys understand the way that it works is whenever you see these outfits and stuff, the girls bring stuff, and I'm like, put this with this, with this, with this, with this. Is that about right?
Yeah, it's never what you think it's going to be. Like, you'll have a whole outfit planned out in your head, and you're like, wow, this is going to look so great. And then, like, Jason just looks at it, and then he's like, no, well, you know what? We're going to put this with that, and he completely just makes his own outfit. So,
but do they look good?
I don't know. What do the people say?
What the hell does that mean?
What do the people say?
Okay, well,
how
of course they do. How about the shop? You even said yesterday you really liked the outfit I put together.
Yes, Jason, I'm going to bring you shopping with me from now on.
Okay.
My personal
shopper,
yes.
Now, see, I don't know how good I'd be at that. I'm good at like the photo shoot shopper stuff.
Not under pressure?
No pressure is no problem for me, but I don't know. But no, but you look fantastic.
Thank
and
you.
Your outfit looks great. So Miss Maria flew in from Florida. I met her in Florida back in August.
Mm-hmm. That was a fun time.
That was very fun. I put her in alligator waters. That's not a joke.
Yes, that's a true story. What did we name the alligator? Man.
Anthony named it. Allie?
No,
That's
it was
too
something
predictable.
Sheila, maybe? Or
Yeah, it was. Sheila, Shelby,
Shelby, something like
Karen, something like that.
There's always a Karen.
There's always a Karen, even in the Everglades. So we did a shoot in the Everglades. The first time I met Maria, I'm taking her into. Well, no, that was the second time.
No, that was the second time.
Yeah, the first time was Palm Beach. The second time was the Everglades, taking her to alligator waters. If you guys have watched the videos and stuff, there's already one video out with Maria, which was with the dog and the red dress. It looks amazing. Oh, I'm getting a look of contempt right now because she's
I have something to say.
Oh, you have, okay. What? So if you guys haven't seen the video, go check out the video. So it'll put her following comments into greater context. But we did a shoot with the red dress, and it turned out amazing. And Maria killed it. That was the first time that we'd ever shot together, met anything. But in that video, she very famously said to me, "Wow, what a great camera."
Yeah.
And then you were telling me once you flew in that you were looking at some of the comments in response to that. You were angry at me that I left that in the video.
Yeah, you just left me out to die on YouTube.
No, not at all.
Get torn to shreds.
Not at all. I've been trying to get Maria to shoot with me for the last 5 months, and she's completely blown me off.
Wow.
Which is why this could have been rectified.
Right, because somehow after being placed in some like murder scene looking shed in the Everglades, and also
there is truth to that.
Alligator waters, I still let you convince me to come shoot with you again.
That's true.
So I mean, maybe it took a little more convincing.
That's true.
So but about the comment.
Yeah, but let's go back to that. So she was the fact that I left it in there when she said, "Wow, that must be a great camera." A bunch of you guys on YouTube were like, "Oh my gosh!" All the models, all the people say that.
The photography community came for me.
And so, what would you like to tell them, Maria?
Well, I feel like I was misrepresented.
Okay.
I didn't. It wasn't meant to say that like that you're not talented or that the talent isn't actually you. It was just something that it just came out in the moment. Like I'm not used to seeing pictures look so like. It already looked edited. It looked like perfect. So
because it's a great camera,
right? It had nothing to do with the photographer at all.
No, nothing. Well, see, that's why I left it in. That's why I left it in.
But that's just something, obviously I'm a model. I don't know like about stuff like that. It wasn't meant any kind of way, but
No, we all know you're amazing, and everybody who knows Maria and anyone who's followed it all knows she's not only beautiful and talented but very smart. So it was just an inside joke in the photography community. But you did a great job on that shoot. So no, between work and COVID and everything else, all jokes aside, it's been hard for us to be able to get this trip, but we finally got it done. And so here it is, early December, mid-December, and we finally got her to fly out here. And she flew into San Diego, picked her up.
I keep talking. It's like almost like going to be like a hashtag because it's like flew into California, ended up in Arizona. Because we've been, well, I don't know. We're not in Arizona right now, but...
No, we've done a little loop-de-loop.
It's like back and forth and back and forth. I don't know what time zone I'm in. I don't know. It's pretty crazy.
Welcome to life with me.
Lots of fun.
So we flew in. We got out to Yuma, Arizona. We went and did a shoot at the sand dunes. Which I thought was so cool. It is cool.
The sand there is nothing like Miami.
Yeah, she says it's fake sand.
It's fake. It's like invisible. It disappears. But then it's still there, like you can still feel it. It's actually, I don't know, it's pretty crazy.
It is crazy. Maria crawled all over the sand dunes. She fell in love with it.
I ruined a pair of shoes.
She did ruin a pair of shoes. That is true.
We're here about to ruin another pair.
We are about to ruin another pair. And so then after that, the next day, we went out and shot.
That was a lot of fun.
That was a lot of fun. And so that was our main day of shooting because there was no travel involved in that day. And we went out towards the sand dunes, but ended up taking the road up towards Blythe, which goes to nowhere but Blythe. I mean, there's nothing along that road. And we went driving there and stopped on the side of the road. Maria's dancing. Oh, that's the thing. Her music. It's really fun to travel with Maria. There's never a moment of silence.
Guys, yes, I'm also a part-time DJ in my own mind.
She is. She knows every song.
Mm-hmm.
She really rocks the 80s and 90s. But I haven't even heard her other mixes, so who knows?
Yeah, I mean, so today would unfortunately be our last day of shooting. If not, you would have been subjected to the 2000s, which I'm sure you've been really excited about.
I would have.
So we'll save that for next time, though.
Absolutely. So then we went out and started shooting, and we did a shoot in the middle of the road, which is, not the safest thing to do. But we posted the shot. So if you guys are listening to this is we posted the shot. You can check it on Instagram. It was posted December, what's today, 15th? Yeah, because it's the 15th, and so we posted it December 15th, and it's in the middle of the road. It's a 20 millimeter shot with a Sigma, really great lens and really great camera. It's why the shot turned out so well.
Of course.
And we Maria wore this really awesome outfit, black sequence dress with a black belt, black boots, with these crazy goggles that are amazing. And we got a tremendous set done. We had to keep moving in and out of the cars coming, and something that broke my little heart was I stupidly took my glasses off to look at the camera, and when I did, I left them and a car came, and the biggest fluke of nature, the car ran over my Ray-Bans, destroyed them. But the
lenses were okay.
That's the thing that was nuts. Is we heard a pop, the lenses literally popped out of the frames. The frames are destroyed. There's a shot of this. Well, that was on my story, so it'll be gone by the time you guys are listening to this. But yeah, it was a really crazy shot.
Yeah, R.I.P. Ray-Bans.
R.I.P. to the Ray-Bans. We're just watching hippies walk in front of us. So, but no, what did you think of that shoot?
I loved it, actually. I would never know how to exactly describe that type of shoot in that location, but it's something that I always wanted to do. Like, I always saw it in my head. And it just came out. I mean, it was perfect. Like, the way that the dress looked, like, with the way that the light reflects off of, like, the sequence. I mean, the light out here is great. Like, obviously, like, Miami's always, like, really overcast, and it just, like, over here, it's amazing light. So I was really, really happy with all the pictures. I can't wait to see the rest of them.
No, we had a great time. And one thing that you guys should know, too, is when you look at some of these shots, a lot of times people talk to me, well, Jason, it must be nice to have a crew and all these people to help you do stuff. But, guys, we're doing this with very minimal gear, very minimal lighting for the most part. Mm-hmm. Even that shoot was pretty much a natural light shoot. And it's incredible what you can do if you just manipulate the light and know where to look. And so when you're shooting, take a look at your environment and set yourself up for success and work with what Mother Nature gives you.
Yeah, it's really amazing what you've been able to accomplish with a one-person crew, I guess you would say. Because it's just me, Jason, and our imaginary friends on this trip. And, even for me, like, I was really self-conscious about going in front of a camera, not having a makeup artist, and but just really, like, with the right photographer who knows what he's doing, with a great camera.
Yes, don't forget the camera.
Yeah, it's really incredible what you can create.
No, and I think one of the key takeaways I'd want anyone to have from all this is finding those other creatives that help you to create your vision. Mm-hmm. And, the first time I saw Maria, the first time we met and started shooting, it was easy. And
yeah.
I think that's always been a telltale sign for me when I really know, hey, this is a good person to work with, is when it's just easy. It doesn't feel like work. It's like you're shooting, yes, but it feels fun and it's more playful. It's not.
Well, I mean, it's also, you have to, I think, like many other things, like there has to be like a good chemistry. Like, I've worked with a lot of photographers, and I mean, honestly, like pretty talented photographers, but there just wasn't that like chemistry there, like, so it didn't really click and it didn't work as well. And a big thing for me was always like getting direction, because a lot of people won't give you direction. And I can't tell you how many times, like, I've seen a bunch of pictures that I've done, like, you know, not edited, but just like looking through the photos, and I'm like, man, like, if I would have just been told to like do something different with my hand or like tilt my head or something, it would have been like an amazing shot. So getting direction is really, really important. And like Jason really definitely does that. Sometimes, you know, you're just put in these really like weird poses, and you think to yourself, like, you know, as a model, like, you're just like, my God, like this is like really just there's no way this looks good. But what I've also learned is, like, the more uncomfortable it feels, like the more like your head is twisted and your ankle is this way or that,
like you're having an exorcism.
Yeah, it's literally, you know, if you're doing yoga while shooting, it's probably gonna look best on camera.
Hey, you know me, I'm all about wellness. So no, that definitely helps. And you know, speaking about weird poses, I did a pose with you I've never done before.
What?
You pet a cactus.
Yeah, the cactus. My pet cactus at Pikachu Park. What was it called?
It's called Pikachu, but she called
Pikachu Pistachio Pikachu.
Okay, now you missed the first one. You've called it Pachacha.
Pachacha.
I think she's like thinking of doing some dance with some salsa guy or something.
Well, when you're driving through these places, and you know, I was born in New York, and I've lived in Miami most of my life. I'm not used to seeing the sights in California. Everything is so not flat. So everything, I'm just like, wow, I'm looking out the window, and I caught a glance of a sign that said, welcome to whatever.
Pachacha.
Pikachu, pistachio, whatever. And, you know, Jason, of course, making fun of me for it, but I don't know. I've never been here. That's just how it looked at me. I saw a P, I saw an S, there was a CH somewhere in there, and that's just what my brain came up with. So
there's no S.
Whatever.
So there's no S in Pikachu, but there is in pistachio. But that led us. We drove, and it was funny because I typically have a truck SUV that I take on all my other shoots, and I brought my smaller, nicer car because I hadn't driven it for a while, and I didn't want it to sit for too long, and so I'm taking it on, and we go on this road that is like meant to. What do we call it? This is you kept saying this is where you kill someone.
Where you go to die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's like, you're going to disappear me.
I mean, it's just it's certainly not, you know, I mean, you don't look at this area and be like, you know what would be a good idea is to just go driving and see, you know, where we end up.
She asked me, it's really cute. We're driving and she's like, so, like, you're the kind of guy that has like extra gas, right? I'm like, not in this car.
I mean, you would think, because we're just like driving these distances in literally the middle of nowhere.
And I do have to say, this was the middle of nowhere.
And I'm just like thinking to myself, because I like to just like think like, okay, I don't know why I do it to myself. I'm like, well, what could potentially go wrong here? And I'm like, well, you know, the phone could die, you could lose signal, you could flatten your tire because you're driving up what looks like a mountain
and low profile tires.
Yeah, and I was just like, I'm like, I know me, I always run out of gas. I run out of gas in Miami, where there's a gas station everywhere. So
that explains a lot.
I'm thinking there should be an extra, you know, gas can somewhere.
Maybe you need an extra gas can.
I actually, fun fact, do have a gas can in the back of my car.
Does it have gas in it?
No, it doesn't, but I figure if I run out of gas...
Oh my gosh, so you have it in case you run out of gas.
Because you know, everybody has that thing, like, I know my car.
So you just completely ignore the gas gauge on your car.
It's a suggestion.
It
suggests that I should get gas sometime soon, but...
Well, that explains quite a bit. That explains a lot. Well, I'm glad I didn't follow my suggestions on my car. We did drive out into the middle of nowhere. We got some great shots. It is December, so it's not hot out here in California, but it is the desert. But God, that wind made it freezing. I mean,
I'll say, yeah. I made a comment to Jason. I said, well, I'm glad actually that I didn't have my fake eyelashes on, because they would have definitely flown off.
Yeah. So this poor lady, we drive to this crest of a hill, and it's overlooking.
Who's the lady?
You.
This poor lady. This poor girl.
You're not a lady?
No, what am I, like 80? This lady?
No, once you're 18, you're a lady.
No, I mean a young lady.
Fine, this chick. Fine, this broad. Okay? Fine, I'll go the other way.
Broad from Miami.
This broad from Miami and never stops talking. This girl, this chick, whatever she is, this person of the female persuasion, gets out of the car. She's wearing white go-go boots with the blue dress, cocktail dress, with what did you have on your head? Oh, you had like a necklace. Yeah, we put a necklace on your head, and then we have the car in the shots. But then I take her down to we're on the crest of a hill, and she was talking about like people disappearing so much. I thought she was going to kill me out there.
No, well, this is actually where you go to tumble to your death. That's what that is over there.
God, I thought you were going to off me, but
not in like 4-inch heels, nonetheless.
Yeah, I wasn't wearing those, but I took you down, and I'm like, just put your hand next to that cactus. Just pretend you're gonna pet it. And she's like, what if I actually touch it?
Well, because I'm from the East Coast, and I've never seen a cactus.
So I introduced you to your first cactus.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, this is nice. Like I'm looking at it. I'm like, well, what do I do with it? And he's like, well, if you just like touch it, but don't touch it. And I'm like, so what? I'm like pet it?
Yeah, she pet it like a chia pet. She did. She pretended it was a munchie-chi. Do you remember munchie-chi?
No, but I do remember chia pet.
Okay, look up munchie-chi when you get home.
Okay.
But she pet the cactus. It bit her. But
it still hurts.
But she did an incredible job. We drove back, and then we said, hey, she's like, where's that place you always go that's crazy? And I said, what? And she goes, you're always there. And I said, oh, the Salton Sea? She goes, yeah. And I said, she's like, can we go there? And I'm like, yeah. How far away is it? I don't know. It's like 2.5 hours.
Everything's 2.5 hours from anywhere that we are.
That's what's
apparently
beautiful about California, though. California is great because you can be somewhere really cool in a couple hours. So we've made our way out here now. We're waiting on the sun to dip a little bit, and then she is dressed and ready to go. So give my followers some feel for what it's really like to work and shoot and travel with me. Just let them know what overall what the experience was like compared to what you were expecting, compared to what happened, and just anything in between.
It's not for the faint of heart.
Why is that?
No, I'm kidding. All jokes aside, yes, you do. You take whatever fears you have, and you're just and Jason's like, well, well, today, first of all, every time he starts a sentence with, would really be great. It's like my heart just like stops for a second because I'm like, oh God, like it's, but it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun because it pushes you out of your comfort zone. You're going to do things that like, honestly, like you would never do in your sane mind, because if you think about it too much, you'll just be like, that's crazy. But I think the crazier it is, and the more off the wall it is, it's like the better, like the shots come out. I'm trying to think. There was like something else that I was going to say about shooting with Jason.
Well, we shot in it was like an abandoned warehouse we shot in.
Today. Yeah. And I mean, that's the other thing. It's literally like there's never really like a solid plan. The plan is, all right, we're just going to go out today. We're going to get some great images. And then you'll just be driving, and all of a sudden you see him pulling off to the side of the road, and you're just like, the first time that this happened, which was, I want to say in Miami when we were doing the Everglades shoot, and I didn't really know you that well. I'm thinking, well, maybe he has to like, maybe he's going to like use the bathroom, or maybe he has to like do something. Because it's literally like he'll pull over and you're like, well, certainly this isn't where we're going to be shooting. And then it's like he goes around and he finds something. He's like, all right, this is it. And you're like, this is it? There's like...
you want to hear a fun fact?
It's like a haunted house. Like,
you want to hear a fun fact?
What?
So guys at home, I'm driving around in my nice car. Okay, so this is a nice car that I'm driving around in, and I mentioned that because when I first met Maria, I dragged her over in Miami, she said, "Oh, I'll follow with you," and I'm like, "Are you sure?" She's like, "Yeah." So Maria pulls up in this nice Acura, and then she's like, "I said, do you want to follow me?" She goes, "Oh yeah, I'm fine." And I'm like, "Okay."
Well,
And so we went down to the Everglades, and then we go on this road like where redneck hillbilly serial killers exist.
it's just like.
And I watch her following me in the rearview mirror. Anthony and I are just busting up because she's like, she gets so far behind because she's driving 0.5 miles per hour.
Well, because every sensor in my car is like beep 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 beep, and it's like, all right, and I'm like, what's wrong? Like, there's nothing touching you in front and or in back, and it's like something stuck in the undercarriage, like, and I'm driving. I have my makeup artist in the passenger seat, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like, she's like, what is that? I'm like, I have no idea, and I'm like, maybe I should just stop. And then I think you were driving. You ended up like, was that like private property or something?
Oh, I'm sure it was.
Some guy jumped in front. And then I was like, thank God. I'm like, this means we gotta like go back.
We gotta
now.
go. Yeah, they wanted to kill us. One fun fact is Maria, due to the crazy places we've been driving, figured out what the handle is above on the passenger seat. She was, "What is this?" I said, "It's the old crap bar." I said, "What do you mean?" She goes, "I said, this is what you hold on to when, it gets going pretty well."
I've never used that thing in my life. I think I honestly have hung like clothes on it. Like I pick up my dry cleaning or something. And I'm like, oh, this is probably what this is for. But I found out that it actually has, there's an actual name for it.
There is, yeah.
Yeah,
So how would you rate this experience? 5 out of 5.
Definitely 5 out of 5.
All right, good, because you were anything less than a 5, you were walking home.
Yeah,
sister.
I was gonna say no, but definitely it's a lot of fun, and I always look forward to it, even though I'm a little, scared, but in the sense like, because I'm scared of like creepy crawly things and just.
She's
like
looks
like where creepy crawly things live.
The
all
Salton
the time.
Sea. Well, yeah, they crawl out of here. But the funniest thing was she said to me, "We're in the desert." She goes, "It's not like snakes." I said, "Yeah, this place is full of rattlesnakes. What are we gonna do?" Whatever, I'll chase it off.
Yeah, I mean that's always. But again, like when you shot in a swamp with a real life, I don't know, is it an alligator or a crocodile?
Alligator.
Okay. Where, by the way, when we were doing that shoot, I kept hearing something in the water, and I kept turning around. I would be like, oh my God, is that like an alligator? And everybody that was on the set was like, no, it's a fish. It's a fish. And I'm like, okay, it's a fish. And then as soon as Jason's like, all right, well, I think we got it. And I'm like, okay, cool. Like, that's it. And I'm getting out of the water. And he's like, well, by the way.
Now, in all fairness to that story, though, I got in the water first.
Mm-hmm.
I know I did, and I helped you in. And I didn't leave until you felt comfortable. And the funniest thing was, when I took a step to get out of the water, it splashed a little bit, and she just about jumped out of her skin.
Yeah, I mean, because again, like they'll see, right?
Yeah, they'll
Eventually.
see.
Yeah, it's like.
Yeah, she has a couple bones to pick with me. One is the first video comment, and the second is, "Hey, where in the hell was that video?" But
yeah,
you guys will see it soon.
Okay.
Miss she's very talented.
Thank you.
I've really enjoyed this time with you.
Thank you. You know what's actually funny that I have to add is that this is probably the one time you're constantly, when you're taking pictures, you're constantly like chasing light, worried about the sun, where's the sun? We're losing light, and right now the sun is like hanging out. He's not going anywhere.
It's dipping. I dip, you dip, we dip.
I mean, this is the warmest I've been since I got to California.
Are you enjoying it or are you hating it?
Hating right now, or
hating the warmth?
No, it's actually really nice because it has been cold. You probably won't be able to tell by the pictures because I do have my game face on, but I am freezing in every single one of these pictures.
No, she's done a great job. She's really a true pro. She's an actress as well as a singer, mm-hmm. as well as being an amazing model. But yeah, guys, just to summarize, and I think she would totally agree with this. I mean, the process that I do is much more of an organic process. It's like, hey, what do you have? Let's put together some outfits, and then we find locations. So even when the first night when we were looking at stuff, she got her suitcase out. She's showing me all of her wardrobe and she's trying stuff on, and she's like, so do you know where we're going to go? And I said, no.
Yeah, it's all very spontaneous, and I think that's what adds to it, because sometimes when you plan too much, I don't know, it's just like too planned. And with this, it's just, it takes the pressure off, because it's just like, I know it's going to look good. Like, I just have like this like blind faith. I'm like, I know whatever it is, like, he's going to throw something together. He's going to pick something up off of the floor. He's going to make it into a thing. And like and that's like really, really awesome, because it's like it adds to the confidence that I have, like, when I'm on camera, because I just know that it's going to look good. Like, I just know. So.
Yeah, thank you. And I think what you guys should know too is part of that's what keeps photography fun and fresh for me, is that it's not formulaic. It's not the same thing. It's not, oh, we got to do. If you're always doing the same thing, photography is going to get very boring for you, and you're going to get burned out.
Yeah, no, I could definitely see that. I don't know. I just keep saying it, because it really is amazing how, like, you could do, like, so much with, like, so little. Like, it just, like, a little bit just goes, like, so far. I don't know. Like, I'm, like, at a loss for words.
Yeah, it's funny. I show her pictures in the back of the camera, and she's like, I don't know what to say.
It's just, everything is just like, wow. Like, and every time I told you earlier, it's like, just when I think like it can't get any, it just keeps getting better. It's crazy. Like, I don't know.
Well, thank you. Part of that is experience, and part of that is fun, and just part of that is talent. And it's just about getting out there and showcasing that. And certainly you deserve a ton of credit for how talented and beautiful you are. And
thank you.
And you certainly bring so much to the table. And I'm glad we got some pictures of you without your sunglasses. She would have murdered me.
Yeah, someone give me a sunglass
endorsement
already. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because when you go to my Instagram, you'll see.
She's like, Jason, you shoot me so much with sunglasses. Use your following. Get me hook me up.
Like, come on.
I'm done with this.
No, but they come out great. So.
But yes, shot a lot of it natural light on this trip. Shot some of the Titan X1. Did a shoot inside of the warehouse of the Titan X1 that was really fun. And just a fun fact for that too, guys, is I was running low on batteries on the Titan X1, and so that's an experience where I actually used the flash function on the Titan X1 versus the continuous mode, because the flash function, both batteries were at 1 bar, and the flash function just went. We did hundreds and hundreds of shots, and it didn't wear out. So keep that in mind when you're using the Rotolights. Any of the Rotolights, is that you'll be able to get a lot more battery life out of them if you use them in strobe versus continuous, if that happens to be an issue, which it was for me today. So if you want any deals on those lights, guys, go to rotolight.com/Jason offers. Where should I go for your endorsement deal on your sunglasses?
Someone go to Maria Milian on my Instagram and just start at whoever makes sunglasses, all the designers. There will be no shortage of sunglass photos on my Instagram.
That's true. She's got every brand covered.
But yeah.
Well, thank you, Maria. We're getting ready to do a great shoot, but I am very grateful that you came out here. I know it took a lot of effort on your part, and truly, you're an incredible creative, and it's been an honor for me to work with you, and I'm very grateful that you chose to come out and spend this time with me, and I look forward to doing it again.
Well, thank you for having me, and I'm really sad that I have to go back to Miami, but hopefully you'll be out there soon, and we could do this again, and in non-freezing weather.
Yes, we'll plan something for January. We'll have to make sure we plan it at a certain time, so like all of the moons align and her crystals are good.
Everything, the moon cycles, the retrogrades, the planets, everything has to be on point. And if you go to my Instagram, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, she's like crazy with crystals and stuff.
I'm a jack of all trades.
She is. She was asked first thing out of the car when we're driving, and she's like, "What time were you born?" I'm like,
I guarantee you that a lot of people that are listening to this podcast are going to know exactly why I asked for your birth time. And also a fun fact, when I first met you, I think when you were asking me about my schedule for the rest of the week, because you were in Miami. This was the first shoot in West Palm, and you were there for a few days, and you were like, well, what's your schedule for the rest of the week? And I told you that I had to check because I had a Reiki session planned.
I remember that. And I'm like, Reiki?
You knew me for like a whole 25 minutes, and so I'm surprised that you even still decided to invite me back after that.
Weird people are my thing. But Maria, thank you. Guys, give her a follow. She's beautiful. She's talented. She's amazing. She's a triple threat with acting and singing, and it's been amazing to hear her COVID voice sing to me. Shows me songs. Shows me some singing. She has to sing to me when she doesn't have the COVID voice going on. But
well, yeah, because when you do a photo shoot with me, entertainment is included.
It is. She very humbly described herself as the best road companion out there, road traveler.
And then also, if you're interested in getting any professional boomerangs done. Jason has picked up a part-time job.
Yes, I'm
due to
struggling
the pandemic,
to do. Yes, that's very true.
Guys, I'll be posting that.
$3. I charge $3 for a professional boomerang.
$2.99 for professional boomerangs. So make sure you check that out.
Yeah, that's a true story. Well, yeah, you guys can check out her boomerangs, and that is actually pretty funny. She's like, can we be basic right now? And I'm like, sure. What do you want to do? She's like, I really want a picture. I want to boomerang that. And I'm like, I charge for that.
It's never easy when you have a professional photographer, any of it.
Selfies, that was the funny part.
Selfies, boomerangs, all of it. It's a whole to-do, guys. So just understand what comes with asking a photographer to do any of that.
Yeah, I'm like, hey, do a selfie. And she's starting to do it. I'm like, don't do it like that. She's like,
I mean, I don't, it's...
I'm like, it's crooked. What are you doing?
I actually I'm going to archive that on my Instagram where under work, I think it's like work life or something. So if you are interested in seeing what it's really like,
yes,
you'll go to my Instagram and you too can see what it's like to take a professional selfie with a photographer.
It's quite.
If you're interested in seeing that.
Well, thank you for being here.
Well, thank you for having me.
I'm sure my followers are gonna love you. I'm sure they already do.
Well, I hope so. I hope I'm forgiven for.
They know.
They know the great camera comments. So.
No, they love you, and I think you're just an incredible talent. I feel very grateful that I've been able to work with you, and I look forward to doing it again.
Well, thank you. Me too. I can't wait.
All right. Well, thanks, guys, for listening. We'll get back to the regular podcast now, but thanks for listening, and go give her a follow. And thanks, Maria.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
I hope you guys enjoyed that interview. It certainly brought me a lot of joy to do it with her. I can't wait to work with her again, and I hope you guys got something out of it. It's a lot of fun, and she's an incredible creative. We'll be right back to wrap up the podcast right after these messages. In my world, it's been a really fun time. I actually had an appearance on the Shrimp Tank podcast. That is a nationally syndicated podcast with a great host, Mark Scribner. Mark is a great guy in the world of finance. Mark is somebody who's come to my workshops, and he's got to know me over the years, but he's like a big whale in the world of finance. He's been on Fox Business. He's been on a ton of stuff. So he's like, hey, I'd love to have you come on the show and talk to entrepreneurs. So guys, if you haven't had a chance yet, go and check that out. It's a Shrimp Tank podcast. And I just had an incredible time doing the interview with him. You have to listen to it. And I've set something up because ever since I relaunched my podcast, I've had people asking me to come on their podcasts. So I've added a new page to my website. If you go to jasonlanier.com/guest, it is a whole section where you can ask me to be on your podcast. You can fill in the details, and if everything works out, I can definitely make an appearance on your podcast if that's something that you would like. And also, you can check out all of my guest appearances. So the last one that I did just a couple days ago with Mark on the shrimp tank can be found there. So go to jasonlanier.com/guest, and you can also hear and or watch, because it's actually a video, it's a simulcast. You can actually watch and or listen to my appearance on there, which I think is fantastic. So big thanks to Mark. I can't wait to have him on my show as well. So what's next for me, guys? I actually had to reschedule a shoot with a model named Saray. It was supposed to be this a couple days ago, but I'm going to be doing that tomorrow. So it's going to be more of a Christmas shoot and a kind of a Titan RGB flash shoot. That's going to be awesome. We have Christmas coming up in 5 days. Can't believe it. COVID makes everything just seem not normal, which is crazy. So I wish you guys a happy Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, Christmas, Festivus for the rest of us, all of it. I hope you guys have a wonderful Christmas and a happy holiday season, no matter what you're doing. Just stay safe. And then I'm off to New Orleans in Florida. I'm going to be working with the model Anna Karen again. She's incredible, and I'm going to go out and do a road trip with her. That's going to be flying into New Orleans and then going into the panhandle of Florida to find some abandoned stuff and do some really cool stuff. So stay on the lookout for that. And last but not least, my B movie of the week. I've actually, as funny as it sounds, I've gotten back into Married with Children. It's been forever since I watched that show. I needed something that could kind of be, I needed something that was a serial, meaning, a show. I needed something that was, that kept going on and on so I could work in the background. And Married with Children, I love that show from when I was a teenager and a kid. So it's fun to turn that on and listen to that again. So just fun stuff there. But guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget to go on to jasonlanier.com/podcast to catch all of our episodes. We're on Apple, Spotify, Stitcher, Spreaker, all of them. So click SoundCloud. Just go on all of them, guys. And also, again, if you guys are looking for lights or anything else, go to rotolight.com/Jason offers. The best deals are out there. You still have a chance to get something for Christmas, guys. So thank you so much for listening, and I really appreciate it. I'm very honored that we've been able to grow this podcast, and I'm so grateful to all of you. So until next time, keep shooting, never give up on your dreams. Find a right gear that works for you, and remember, you only have one chance to get it right. Don't forget, guys, you can go on to jasonlanier.com/podcast and leave us feedback and let me know what you want to see or listen to on a future episode. We'll talk to you guys later. Bye.